going to introduce our next guest, who is incredible. His name is Kody Thompson, and he is the owner of Dance Sites, which is a website building company for dance studio owners. He's actually built, well, I don't know how many sites now, Kody. You'll have to tell us for Inner Circle members. Do you know how many DSOA websites you've built now?
Yeah, about 60.
60 websites for our Inner Circle members and DSOA
Yeah.
members. He knows websites for dance studios more than anyone I have ever met. He's an incredible guy, the nicest guy on the planet. And Kody, I am so grateful that you are joining us today. So welcome. How are you doing, friend?
Good, man. Thank you so much for having me. I feel like that's a pretty big rap to say the nicest guy ever, but I really do appreciate it.
Well, you do. Alex and I often say that you're one of the nicest people we know. So please say
I
that.
appreciate
Please
that.
Kody,
it.
Kody, I want to jump in. Firstly, I want to talk about common mistakes that dance studio owners are making with their websites, because every week, you know, I go onto websites. I was actually looking at some websites today from some of our SAI members who have just joined. And I was like, I'm so excited for them to hear from Kody during the program and getting your good stuff, because a lot of people need a lot of help. So what are some of those mistakes that you see being made?
I think the most common one is actually just not having a clear message. And it's not just a problem with the website. It's probably a problem across their whole marketing kind of activity, that they don't have a clear message about what they're trying to say about their studio. That's probably the biggest thing that you would see. And it's not just dance studios. In fact, it's most small business owners. They kind of want to skip the boring stuff of kind of like figuring out your brand positioning, figuring out the personality of your brand, how you're going to position what you sell in the marketplace. And so they typically will kind of go in blind into a website build, and they'll probably let the web developer just take the steering wheel and just do whatever they want on the website. And the problem with that is, of course, most web developers would have no idea about what it means to run a dance studio or how to position a dance studio to be successful online. And so what typically happens is the positioning on the, particularly on the first panel that you see on the website is really poor. So that's the first thing that I think studio owners really need to work on.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I know inside of SAI, guys, we're going to be sharing a training of Kody's where he walks through like 15 changes that you need to do on your website. And it is mind blowing. When you've presented that to our people, they're like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do. But there are some really effective things they can, tweaks that they can make to get them really great results.
Yeah, and it's always, when I do that presentation, I always try to you're kind of walking on the boundary of, you don't want to make people feel overwhelmed when they think about their website. I think, to be honest, a lot of small business owners just feel completely overwhelmed by the internet. Like they'll see kind of like, education programs online that says like, you're one funnel away from being a millionaire. And they see all this kind of stuff. But in reality, when they go to build a website or a landing page or set up ads on Facebook, they're just completely overwhelmed. So when I do my presentation, I'm very aware of how, I'm very aware of that feeling that people have, that, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. The internet should help me make money, not take all my money away from me and not make me feel so overwhelmed. And so when I do my presentation, I go through step by step, the things that you can tweak on your website, whether or not you're working with me or a different web developer, the principles that you can put in place on your website to get, instantly get better results from your site.
Yeah. It's great. It's so good. And like, I still remember like our team taking notes and going back and looking at our website as well. And being like, oh, thanks, Kody. Thanks, Kody, for all the work. But yeah, guys, it is great. Okay. So Kody, we do have a couple of websites for you to look at and provide some feedback on today. Let me allow you to share if you wanted to share your screen.
Yeah, let me do that. I'll bring them up.
That would be awesome. Guys, so I'm really excited. Kody's going to go through a couple of websites of our members and give you some feedback and things that you can then take away and look at implementing into your site as well. So real examples here, which I love.
Yeah, so what I thought I would do, which is a little bit different than just a standard website review, I'm going to talk through some of the things that I see on the homepage, and then I'm actually going to reconstruct the first part of the page like live on the call. So,
oh, awesome.
Yeah, so what we can see here, so obviously, I've never seen this website before, by the way. They got sent to me just last night. So and it's morning time here in Australia. So I've just woken up and I've got these in front of me. So Springfield Dance, what do we see here? Welcome to the Springfield Dance family. Our studio is open for live in-person and virtual classes. Obviously, right now, this sentence is really important to have at the top panel. But what I would say is that there's no other real clear positioning, of the brand. In other words, like, what makes this dance studio special? We've just kind of got a fairly lazy headline there. Welcome to Springfield Dance Family. It doesn't really tell us much else. I like the word family. I think that's great to have in the headline, but it doesn't really sort of offer much else other than that. Across the top here, I see home, about, what we do, contact, members. I mean, that's okay. They seem like they're fairly kind of clear, items in the navigation here. But the next step is register. So let's just click on register, because to me, that seems like what they want me to do next. It's kind of the button at the top here. Okay, so what can I do here? New to Springfield Dance, click to register. So I suppose the issue that I have with this is I don't even know yet what I'm registering for. Like, am I becoming a member, or am I getting some sort of like free offer? And then if I actually want to register and go through the registration process, I've got to fill out this like massive kind of form to get started. So I think right from the get-go, we need to be much clearer around what we're registering for. And ideally, we need to have some sort of offer for new people, whether that be a free dance pass, like a free class pass, whether it be like, multiple class passes, or even if it's a paid trial. It needs to be really clear, like, what is the next step that I'm taking here on the website. So we don't have a clear positioning statement, and then we don't have a clear next step for people who are wanting to get started. I'm not really sure what these are. Springfield Dance. So obviously it's a link to the who we are. Again, there's a link to the registration page, but it doesn't tell me what I'm registering for. And then Springfield Dance Theatre. I suppose I'm just not clear, like what's going to happen when I click on these buttons. So we need to make sure that our website has really clear sections. Like if we want to talk about who we are, let's make sure that section on the website is really clear, that it's an About Us section, and then you can click here if you want to learn more. And then if this is supposed to be a call to action for next steps, we just want to make sure that section is really clear, and then the button is, it's obvious what's going to happen when we click on the button. Okay, and then we go down the page and we've got sort of some quotes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into one of my programs here that I can use to basically mock out a website. And I'm going to open up a new document, and I'm just going to show you an example of how you could just improve this welcome panel right from the start. So we've got let me just go back and show you what we've got again. So looks like she wants to position a video at the top of the page. And then I'm just going to go ahead and assume that she's offering a free class pass, because I know that's part of what we sort of teach at DSOA. So let me go ahead and show you how this could work more effectively. So what I'd want to do is I would want to cover that showcases that video. So I'm going to go ahead and use a section like this for the top section of the website. So what I would want in the background,
and then you
sorry, can you guys can hear me okay? I think someone's microphone was turned on. So what I'd want at the top here is I would want to have like a positioning statement. I would want to probably have just one call to action button, which would be the book a free class pass. And I'd want to have the free class pass here. So I would have like free class pass, and I would have it again here. free class pass. I won't fix that button all the way up. Let me just grab that one. Okay, so I'd have my call to action buttons. And if I wanted to have my video plain and center, I would have it something like that on the home page. If I wanted to get phone calls, I may even move this down slightly and I might add my phone number and my social icons across the top of the page. So I could do something more like this section for the navigation. If I go ahead and remove this one, just go ahead and remove that button for a moment. I could do something like that if I wanted to have my phone number at the top. But I really want to have a clear positioning statement. I want to have the next steps. So I want to have the free class pass. I want to have a clear positioning statement above, and then I could showcase the video underneath. Then if I wanted to go down into the other sections, so if I wanted to have a welcome section or a section about us, then I would want to make those sections clear. So here's an example of one that I was working on today for a tennis coaching business, which is very similar to a dance site. Sort of the same sort of principles apply for this kind of brand. And you can see here, I've kind of got, in their case, they don't have a video, but I've got the free intro class. I've got some social proof because I've got great ratings online. And then I've got like a welcome panel with a panel to learn more about them. They've got multiple locations. So I'm showcasing the multiple locations. I'm showcasing the journey, their sort of next steps. They have a really good progression from like new person all the way through to advanced. And then there's a section to show the different programs. So it'd be like this, you could showcase, for example, the different dance programs or the different dance class types that you offer. So we want to make sure that every panel on the website is really obvious. And that's, I suppose, what I'm not seeing here. And that would be exactly what I would want to do. I would want to kind of like make sure I've got clear positioning, clear next steps, and making sure every element on the page is really deliberate. So I suppose that's probably what I could see mostly when I look at this page. It's just not really clear as to what people are supposed to do next.
Yeah, that's great, Kody. I love it. Are we going to look at the other one?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Let's look at the other one. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I mean, you can see that like literally Kody showed that in like a minute, right? Like the major difference that you could make just from that layout and that positioning. I mean, looks incredible.
Yeah.
So let's look at Shauna's website here.
Okay.
The one you're pulling up.
So she's based in London, Ontario. Okay,
Yeah,
she's got
Canada.
I'd want to find a way to make this branding. Oh, I like the video. I'd want to make the branding a little bit bigger. I don't know what you guys can see on your side, but it's quite small on my side. So I would want to. You could do some stuff with the navigation to kind of boost the sizing of that logo up a little bit. This video at the top's awesome. But what I'd want to do is I still need to have clear positioning. So what we could do is a similar layout to what I was showing with the tennis club here. What we could do is move the form down slightly, and then we could have the video in the background. Because that's kind of what she's got at the moment. It's just not balanced very well. So I would want to move the form down. So it's like kind of just sitting over the top of the video. And I want to still have a positioning statement. Like you still need to have some copy that people can read straight away, especially because on a mobile, this video won't play. So if you open this on an iPhone, for example, iPhones don't allow for automatic background videos. So when you load this on a phone, it's just going to show a still image and there's going to be no text or any positioning on the top of the page. So that's going to be a massive problem on mobile because they're literally just going to see like probably a black frame from this video and then a form with no details. So obviously that's not going to bode well for us. Also, this form doesn't tell us what they're getting. So again, just using this as an example, it needs to have a headline above the form. The button on the form needs to have some sort of clear, like register now. So like if it was like book your free dance class today, register now, it's really obvious, like it's really obvious what they're going to get. So this video is dope. Like, I think if you had like a great positioning statement and then you had the form over the top, that would be great. Another way you could do the form, if you didn't want to do a vertical version of the form, would be if we could use something like this kind of style of the form. So we could have like a horizontal version. So you could imagine this video in the background, right? So let's just grab it and I'll show you what I mean. So let's just get rid of my last one I was working on. All right, so let's just say that in this case, I think it would be best to have the headline in the middle of the page. So let's just say you've got like the headline in the middle of the page, and then with that cool video playing in the background. I'm going to get rid of these shapes in the background here. So we've got that awesome video playing in the background, and then we've got like here could be like, you know, get started. You're free. You know, so something like that. In this case, I would also make sure that that button is a really nice bright color. So I would pick a color. So in their case, this sort of blue color would be the color I would use for the buttons. If I can grab it, if I can see if I can get a sample of that blue color. Oh. No, it doesn't matter. I would make that color nice and bright anyway. For now, I'll make it orange. Oops. So that's kind of what I would recommend she could improve straight away on that top panel, because then on a mobile phone, we can choose an image to use in the background rather than the video. And so you'll still see this nice clear positioning statement about who the studio is and what they offer. And then you'll have a very clear next step. If all she did was change that, like even if I didn't change anything else on the website, then she would have an immediate uplift in the number of leads she's getting. Because right now, over half the people who come to her website are going to be coming on a mobile phone, and they're not going to have any positioning or any clear, you know, steps as to what this form is actually doing. Okay, she's got some photos of the studio, which is good. She's got some social proof on her website, which is great. I call this like salt and pepper. You know, salt is like the is like testimonials, and pepper's like any, you know, business credibility, like credibility logo sections or something like that. So you want to sprinkle your salt and pepper throughout the whole website. You want to make sure you've got some clear credibility. So you're not just telling people how good you are. You're showing them, you know, through, you know, what you've done for other clients. A virtual tour is great. I'm not sure if this video is going to be the same as this video at the top, but it's great that she's using some good videos. I'm not sure I definitely wouldn't take up this much real estate on the home page for a blog. I would probably, you know, just showcase a small section at the bottom of the page with the blog. There's other things that she hasn't talked about here. Like she hasn't talked about clearly, like what are the benefits of our dance studio as opposed to other studios. So I would want to add in some sort of like, some sort of kind of like benefits section. If I open this up again, I don't know if I've got a section on here actually. Sort of like maybe like a 6 reasons to choose our studios. So like if you had some icons, you know, 6 reasons to choose, you know, dance studio ABC, you know, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, reason 4. So highlighting the benefits as to why. And she's also not talking about I call it like a pain panel. You want to have a panel on your website that clearly identifies people's pains with other dance studio experiences that they've had. So I'd want to talk about, not that you want to rag out other studios, but you want to make sure that people understand, you know, like why your studio is different. So for example, even on my website, if you go to say dance sites, you'll see a clear example of a pain panel. So this is my pain panel at the top here, where I talk about, you know, people's experiences with building websites and how it can be so challenging. So if I was doing a pain panel for a studio, I might talk about the fact that, that every student we have is not just another number, that every single student is important, and that like everyone gets that one-on-one attention, that it's not a cliquey kind of studio, that it is a family, and that we've got great leaders, not just, our teachers, but also, within the dancing cohort. Like I'd want to kind of highlight like what makes us, stand out. So that's, again, there's not really any information about that on the homepage. So I suppose they're the kinds of things that I would change. But like I said, even if she just changed that top panel, she would get an immediate uplift in leads. And then at the bottom of the website, whatever content she put throughout the website, you just want to make sure you're repeating that call to action. So if I had a footer at the bottom of the page, I would want to make sure above that footer, so if I just grab an example footer for a moment here, let's just say that's her footer on her website. If that was the bottom of her site, I just want to repeat that. I want to repeat that at the bottom of the page as well. So in here, I want to talk about the pain of having a poor experience at a dance studio. I want to talk about how we're different. I want to talk about what dance classes we offer. And then I want to sprinkle salt and pepper. I want to put some credibility in there with some testimonials, maybe a video of, video reviews or something like that. Basically, that's kind of how I would change things up for this website here.
Kody, so good. So good. Guys, we get to spend an hour with Kody as he runs through a masterclass with us inside of the intensive, which is going to be incredible. I mean, he's just done this stuff in just a couple of minutes. So definitely a genius when it comes to websites for dance studio owners. Hey, Kody, before we let you go, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your session you're going to do for us inside of SAI.
Yeah, so I'm going to you mentioned a little bit about it before, where I'll go through, basically I'll go through some step-by-step things that I've noticed on dance studios, the mistakes that people are making, and I'm going to show you how to rectify all of those mistakes. So I'm going to go through the most common mistakes that we see people make, and I'm going to go deep on each one of those. I'm going to show you exactly how you can tweak those things on your website to get an instant uplift. I'm going to get you guys to do a self-assessment of your own website, not to make you feel bad, but to give you an action plan of things that you can knock off. So if you've got a web developer that you're working with, you'll be able to take this assessment to them and get them to help you to make those tweaks on the website as well. Of course, there'll be an opportunity if you don't have someone reliable to help you with your website, I'll be available to do that as well. Inside the group, Clint, I'm also happy to do any ad hoc website reviews. So if there's anyone who's joining the program and they want someone to do what I've just done to these two websites and do a deep dive and show people exactly the changes that I would make on their particular website, I'm also going to be offering that to anyone who's a part of your program as well. So that's going to be really cool.
That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. The other thing, guys, is that we are giving you a gift voucher as well. So if you do join the Student Attraction Intensive, you're going to get a $500 gift voucher for Dance Site. So if you do decide to end up working with Kody and his team, who are incredible, and you don't need to work with them, but if you do decide that you want to work with them and get Kody's mastery on your website, you'll get a $500 gift voucher to spend with them when you join the SAI program. If you've already joined, you'll get that, but today is the last chance for you to take advantage of this. So I've put the link in the comment section. So if you want to join Kody's masterclass, if you want the opportunity for him to potentially do an audit of your site and you want the gift voucher for Dance Sites, you definitely want to make sure that you get in and secure your seat today. Kody, I'm so excited. I mean, Kody works with us every month inside of the Inner Circle. Like he said, he's done over 60 websites for our studio owners, and they are all raving fans. Some of them who have already posted that they love you in the chat earlier when they saw you here, Kody.
Cool.
And so thank you. It has been incredible. So what's Alyssa saying? The number of new students I got from my incredible Kody website more than paid for their SAI costs within weeks of getting it. Yeah. I mean, you know, pair SAI with Kody's amazing work, I mean, it's a pretty good marriage right there of marketing love.
Yes.
Kody, anything else you want to share with our studio owners before we take off?
No, I'm just really excited. I love the opportunity that I get to work with you and all the things that you guys do inside of DSOA. You have an amazing community. I just felt so much love when I came to the Vegas conference and was a part of being a part of everything that you guys are doing. And I just want to say how impressed I've been, personally with what you guys have been doing in the Facebook group for your studio owners. For those of you guys who don't know my story, I do a lot of work with gyms, and our gyms are in a very similar situation to dance studios where they're getting locked down. Sometimes they're getting opened up and then locked down again, and opened up and locked down again. And seeing what you are offering, Clint, to just to help studio owners through this kind of crazy time. I must admit, it was like, I was like, man, I need to do more for the gyms, because I was watching what you guys were doing inside of DSOA. I was like, man, there's just so much value. And so, yeah, I just wanted to say, I just think what you're doing to help studio owners right now, particularly in this time, has been really impressive to me. And I'm just really grateful that I can be a part of it.